Hello, everybody. My name is Amy Cabrera. I'm your one-star platinum I-10 card holder, and I will be teaching on a combination of Disney and Universal Studios. This primarily will be beneficial if your client does not have a card, but would like to go to both properties to stay at, meaning staying at a Disney hotel property and then staying at a Universal Studios hotel property and attending both parks. So that's where this will come into play. Okay. First of all, actually, before we begin, there are some great benefits to staying on property. Can anybody tell me at least one benefit of staying on the Disney property? If you guys were at convention, you should know because Chris Trujillo did an amazing training on this. Name at least one benefit. Okay. Buses, yes. Early park entrance, perfect. Discounts, I think so. Extra hours, which is really early access. So it's not extra hours right now, meaning that you don't stay later, you go in earlier, right? Free transportation, yes, yep. Early admission, save time, gas, time, money, not moving your car, right? Magical hours, okay, perfect. Magical Express until the end of the year. That's a big one, you guys. That Magical Express is the transportation from the airport to the hotel, right? And you guys, it was very efficient. So I don't know if you guys know this, but my family and I, we actually just went to Florida in April, and we stayed at both properties. And I purposely did this trip because I wanted to see what it was as far as joining the two, so to speak, right? So we did take the Magical Express, and it was actually pretty easy. They just scanned our bands, we hopped right on the bus, and they took us straight to our hotel. So phone call from the characters, I like that one. Yep, you can get wake up calls from all the characters. Fast passes included? No, not necessarily. Shuttles, magic hours, package delivery to the hotel? Yes, you can get groceries delivered to the hotel through Amazon Fresh. Okay, so that is something to also advise your clients, right? Like, let's say they have, they're traveling with the baby and they need diapers and they need formula and they need all this stuff, but they don't want to pack it on the plane. I would suggest Amazon Fresh for that. Okay. Yep, I love to stay on property because transportation everywhere in the park. Exactly. Okay, cool. Kids get to see characters. How about the character breakfast? Typically you get priority for character breakfast as well when you're staying on property, right? There's a little rumor, okay, don't quote me on it, but there is a little rumor that come October, they're bringing back the dining plan as well. The dining plan, when you break down the numbers, it's pretty awesome. You're actually getting a pretty good deal as long as they don't change the pricing too much in October. It really saved us money. Not this last time, but I went before, and it's a lot of food. So it was pretty cool. Yes, the dining plan, I strongly suggest that. Correct, Kaylee, 180 days out for dinner reservations. So if you guys don't know, Disney books very far out, right? So like if they want a character dinner, or if they want to eat at Belle's Castle, or Cinderella's Castle, or whatever the case may be, those typically book up, I'm not even kidding, 180 days out. I mean, it's like that within minutes. So especially over the summer, peak season. So it gives you, I believe, without staying on property, I want to say it's like 120 days, and then staying on property is 180. So that's really good to know as well. So now, how about for Universal Studios, right? We named everything that was for Disney. What about Universal Studios? What's the benefits there? Anyone know? Okay, if you stay at Premier, you get Express Pass, yes. No, it's not walking to the park. They actually bus you to the park. Transportation, yep, many similar benefits as well, except for the meal plan. I don't think they have that. But okay, well, depending on where you stayed, Michelle, I know for us, we stayed at the, oh my gosh, I'm totally gonna butcher it, Surfside, the Surfside Inn. And there was a bus, I mean, and they're very efficient. It's like every 5 to 10 minutes, there's a bus coming, taking you to all the parks, the water park, the Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, right? So Yes, and early admission as well to specific parks on specific days. So that is a really, in my opinion, a really great benefit. Now, how do we sell that to a client, right? And if they're like, well, I'll just take, I'll just drive, or, I'll just take an Uber or whatever. When you have transportation provided by the hotel itself, number one, you don't have to worry about parking. Number two, you don't have to pay for parking. That's kind of a big deal too, right? Because parking can run as much as 20, 25 bucks per day, right? Now you're adding an extra 75 bucks if they're staying for 3 days. That's an extra $75 on their budget, right? So you want to oh, nice, Brooke. You want to make sure that we're explaining these benefits. Our job as travel agents is to make it make sense for the client, so that they're not spending a ton of money, right? Like, I mean, they're going to spend money, of course, but if we can show them that we are reducing cost for them in some way, shape, or form, or making it easier for them, then we've done our job, right? So no, this is about Disney World and Orlando. Really, it's about the theme parks in Orlando, Florida. Okay, Jesse. So Orlando, Florida is what we're talking about today. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop looking at the chat box right now, because if not, I'm sure I can stay here all day answering questions. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our training. Now, if I was to do, as I was saying earlier, if I was to do both properties, meaning staying on Disney and staying at Universal Studios, I'm more than likely going to use VAX, and I'm probably going to use FunJet. And the reason being is because I can do a multi-city. Now, there's a few ways to do this, okay? Don't drive yourself crazy. I always say maximize your commissions, but there is a couple ways to do this. The hands down, probably easiest way is FunJet, okay? So if you're a beginner, just do that. If you wanted to make some money right now and make some money later, that's when we break it up into our wholesale pricing and booking direct, which I'll show you that as well today, okay? So here, we are going to go over to our suppliers, okay? Now, if it's within, anybody know for Southwest how long you have to be, what the window is to book Southwest? This is staying on property, Ashley, on either Disney or Universal Studios. Does anybody know what the time frame is in order to book Southwest? Take a wild guess. How many months? 3 months, 6 months. Courtney got it. Wait, is that Courtney? Yep. Courtney Melpass got it. It's about 6 to 7 months in advance. Southwest does not release their itinerary, their flight info, their flight schedules before that. Most of the time, other airlines will release them 7 to 9 months prior, okay? So if you have somebody traveling next year, you're not going to be able to add flight. Does that make sense to everybody? Give me a 777 in the chat box if that makes sense. Okay, so don't drive yourself crazy looking for a flight if it's 13 months out, a year out, right? You're not going to find it. You're going to have to add the flight later. Okay, so if we are within 6 to 7 months, cool, we can book here. If we are within 7 to 9 months, we can go to FunJet Vacations, right? Now, before I actually enter in any of this information, and if you guys have been on my multi-city trainings, then we're going to go here. We're going to go here before I enter any of that stuff. We're going to go to multiple destinations, okay? Even though we're still staying in Orlando, it's still technically a multi-destination, okay? So I'm going to change the supplier over to FunJet. And then here, we're going to leave this as Hawaii, USA, Mexico, Caribbean, Canada. Okay, that's what this stands for. And we're going to leave this for flight and hotel. We're going to do 1 room, 2 adults, and we'll just pretend that Justin and I are going. How about that? And then we're going to do 3, and we're going to do 5, and let's put this out to March of next year. Let's pretend I'm going for my birthday. Okay, so here, Marnie actually said it yesterday, always add the travel protection. We can always remove that, right? But the travel protection does 2 things. It, number 1, protects your client's investment. If they're investing $3,000, $4,000, you want them to protect it, right? It also protects your commissions. Now they do have to have made a payment. I believe it's 75% or more for it to protect your commission, but it does, right? So if they cancel 30 days prior, they've already paid in full, you're still getting paid. So that's where the travel protection really comes in, right? Okay, so we don't have a promo code. So where are we departing from? We're gonna say Las Vegas because we're pretending that it's me and Justin and the kids. And let's depart in, let's say March. Let's go here. We're gonna say that we are going to Orlando. And we'll stay there for 7 days. Okay. And if you notice here, a flight is already required because I said I'm leaving from Las Vegas, right? But I don't need a car rental. I will need a hotel. Cool. Okay. Now, because I put the 7 days there, it automatically for destination 2 inputs the date, right? So now we're at March 8th, and let's say that we're going to stay at Universal Studios for another 4 days because we don't need as many days there. Okay. Take off the rental, and I'm also going to take off the flight because I'm staying in Orlando. I don't need a flight from Orlando to Orlando, right? Okay, so now we're just looking for the hotel here. Now the return flight, let's say you had somebody out of Las Vegas, they wanted to go to Orlando, but they wanted to return to Los Angeles or something like that. You can change that here, but for this scenario, we're going to leave it as Las Vegas, okay? Anybody have Jeopardy music? My goodness. MCO better than Walt Disney World? Yes, because Walt Disney World will only pull Walt Disney World. And for this, we are pulling Universal Studios and Disney, okay? Do we need to offer separate insurance for this, or this should be enough? Nope, that should be enough. Can we use this as a mock booking? Sure. Absolutely. Okay, so from here, we're going to choose our flights, right? I don't know why, but on American, there's always a layover. Typically, you can find a direct flight on Frontier, but I personally won't fly Frontier. So there's that. So I'm just going to choose whatever flight just for training purposes. So we'll choose this one. Moscow. My mouse just died. Okay. All right, so now we're going to choose the return flight, right? And based on these flights, if you notice the pricing, if the pricing didn't change too much, this is $200 more. If it didn't change too much, then I would probably choose a later flight. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that, okay? Because it's the lower one. Okay, so if you notice here, Destination 1 and Destination 2 have the same hotel. Do you guys see that? Universal Aventura Hotel, Universal Aventura Hotel. This is their suggested or preferred. Now we want to go ahead and change this, right, to hotel. We're going to click on the hotel right here, this button here. Apparently Vax is running really slow right now. All right. So here, this is where we can now choose our Disney resort, right? If you wanted to filter it down, which is what I think, I forget who it was saying, is Walt Disney World better or is it MCO that's better? You can actually filter it down here, right here. So there's always filters in any vendor. There's always ways to filter things down, right? So here you can filter it down by Epcot, what is closer, Animal Kingdom, Disney World, right? Universal, no, not that one. What am I thinking of? Blah, blah, blah. I think, is that all four? I don't know. We'll just choose this. We'll say Disney World, we'll say here. Okay, and now we're just gonna start to filter these down because I'm gonna choose the Disney property first. If you guys are looking for like my recommendation, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have stayed at Universal first and then gone to Disney. And the only reason why I say that is because my kids had such a blast at Disney that by the time we got to Universal, they were asking to go back to Disney. So had I done it the other way, you know, then we would have ended with Disney. So just my recommendation from feedback from my children. So just so you guys know that. Okay, so get familiar with, you guys, if you guys really truly want to be Disney specialists, you really need to get familiar with what property is for what, right? What is an economy or basic property versus a moderate property versus a higher end property, right? And what are the different benefits to that? Typically, it's going to be location, as well as more restaurants. But with that said, you can go eat at any other property when you're staying at the Disney property, right? So for this one, I'm just going to keep it real basic. The lower cost hotels on Disney is going to be like your what am I thinking? The all-star resorts, Disney Art of Animation, where are they? We stayed at the movie one. Where is it? Let me take off these filters. I'm just going to remove these filters because I'm going to look specifically for the All-Star Resorts. So the All-Star Movie Resort, you guys, we stayed there and it was actually a decent experience. The rooms were a little small, and that's probably because my kids are so crazy. Just so you guys know how the double beds work. So for 2 beds inside the All-Star Resort, it's a Murphy bed for one of them, which means that yes, there's 2 beds, but one of them goes up during the day and it becomes a dining table. And then at night it comes, you know, you pull it down so that you can have 2 queen beds. Okay. Okay. So here's one of our low end, right? So standard room. If you wanted to see what the rooms were, you just click anything that is blue and underlined, you can click on. Okay, so start clicking on things and get familiar with it. Standard room, you can see it's $0+ per stay. And if they wanted to look at the pool, then it's $45.98 additional, okay, per stay. So that's total, not per night. All right, so now, thank you. So for now we have our Disney resort, right? And if you wanted to see what the benefits were, you can click on this as well and it'll tell you, right? Complimentary magic bands. If you pre-purchase theme park tickets, they'll be coded to your magic band. Unlock the door, which was kind of cool because I kept forgetting our key. Enter the theme and water parks with valid admission. Connect your photo pass to image to your account, which was also really cool. So any of the photographers in the park, they just scan your magic band and it goes directly to your app that you have on your phone. Charge food and merchandise, etc. Right? So these are the benefits that you get here. All right. Now here, let's go ahead and choose our hotel. So the Aventura Hotel, and again, take the training for Universal Studios, you guys, so that you're familiar with what hotel means what, right? The Aventura is right next to, if I'm not mistaken, it's right next to the water park. And by the way, that's probably the best water park that I've been to. Like, I'm not even joking. It was really cool. So, but if they wanted to stay at a lower price property, then there's the Dockside Inn and Suites, right? The Endless Summer Resort, Dockside Inn and Suites. The main difference between this and this is the Aventura is going to get you the express passes. Now, if you compare the pricing, it's actually worth it. Notice that it's a less than $200 difference to stay at one versus the other, right? But here you actually get the express pass. That is the, oh, which one is the one that gets you the express pass? It's the top tier one. Hard Rock, Royal Pacific. Oh, my bad. You're right. It's the Hard Rock and Royal Pacific. You're right. That was really my bad. So let's compare that. And Lowe's, right? I think it's Lowe's as well. I think it's this one. Okay, so that is a bit of a difference. Okay. So anyway, get familiar with which one does what, right? And what the price differences are. I know for us, we priced it out and it was actually going to be about the same price for us to buy the express passes versus just stay at the higher end hotel. We didn't do it because we had we had Bella and Sophia, so they couldn't really ride any rides. So that's why we didn't do it. But anybody who is going to ride rides and doesn't want to stay in the lines forever, that is a selling point, right? Because then you're also increasing your commissions because the hotel is also higher in price, right? So let's go ahead and choose this one. Okay, so now we have everything here, right? Now, how do we get transportation from Disney over to Universal? That is going to be separate, okay? Unless we can add it here. Let me see. I want you guys to write this down. MEARS, Mears, okay? MEARS, Mears. Mears is a transportation company in Orlando that transfers from Disney World to Universal Studios, okay? Mears, you will have to set that up separate, okay, for your client. I believe that they also pay commission. Don't quote me on that 100%. They will provide car seats as long as you tell them. So if you have a family that's traveling with smaller children and they're flying and they're concerned about going from one park to the other, one property to the other, Mears will provide a car seat, okay? It's about $20 per person to get transferred over. They're super awesome. We had a great experience with them. And again, they provided the car seat and everything and made it super simple for us, okay? Yep, okay. So Eileen sent me a private message. She said you can book transportation between them through Universal. That's true, but not from hotel to hotel. That's what I found out. So I did book it through Universal because I had that conversation before we left, right? And I said I need to get from Disney, we stayed at the All-Star Movies one, over to Dockside, right? That's where we needed to go. Well, what they booked was Disney, a round trip Disney from the hotel over to the park and then back to the hotel. So it was actually a bit of a mess because I did it through Universal and they said, we actually don't provide that. You're going to have to call Mears directly. So that's what I had to do, okay? So I called Mears directly during that time. I actually haven't checked to see if they have a website, but that's something to look into for sure. I believe that we do get commissions as long as we add the IATA number, right? So that is something that I discovered while we were there was, okay, so they don't have transportation from hotel to hotel. It was a round trip. So that was interesting. And not so fun when I'm trying to figure it out last minute. So, it looks like I was seeing if we could add transportation here. It doesn't look like we can. Okay. So here, I believe we've already added the travel protection, if I'm not mistaken. Now you can add the theme park tickets here, right? You guys see that Disney theme park tickets, and the Universal theme park tickets. So if you wanted to put it all into one pretty package, you absolutely can do that. Okay. And you would just go in here. And if they wanted the plus option, by the way, includes the water parks. Okay. The sport option includes ESPN. So know the difference between the two. Okay. And then of course the park hopper just means that you can go from one park to the other. Before you purchase tickets to Disney, this is super, super important, you guys. You need to check the Disney calendar, okay? The Disney reservation calendar. And if you're not sure where that is, just Google it, Disney reservation calendar, okay? Because you have to have a reservation in order to go into the park, okay? And let me show you guys, and you wanna look at this before you purchase the tickets, because if you do it after and the parks aren't available, you're gonna have one pissed off client, right? So you wanna make sure that you're looking at this first on the day that you are actually purchasing the tickets to verify that their parks are available. So for us, right, and I wanna show you guys the differences between the green and the whatever color this is. So if you notice, on the 23rd, it's like this yellowish, orangish color, right? Magic Kingdom and Disney Hollywood Studios are not available. Animal Kingdom and Epcot are, right? If it's green, then all of them are available. So you have to go and click on this to see which ones are available and which ones are not, okay? Based on what your client's plans are. The one thing that I learned about booking Disney and Universal for ourselves is you have to be a planner. Like legit, you have to plan months in advance. You really, really do. Between dinner reservations, between what parks you're going to go to on what day, etc. Now, if you have a hopper pass, okay, if you have a hopper pass, then you can go to the next park after, I believe it's after 2 p.m. Okay, after 2 p.m., you don't need a reservation and you can go to any park. But to go in the morning, you do have to have a reservation. Does that make sense to everybody? Oh, 1 p.m. as of today? Hey, nice. 1 p.m. Okay. So it was 2 p.m. during COVID or during when we went. Okay. So 1 p.m. as of today. All right. So that makes sense to everybody, right? Do not put yourself in a position where you are now having to explain or backtrack with a client. Okay. No, it's 1 p.m. EST. Okay. 2 p.m. You just called Disney. All right. So somebody's going to have to verify. It's either 1 or 2. I know it was 2 p.m. when we went, but I'm seeing in the chat box that it's saying 1 p.m. as of today. Oh, they sent out an email today. Perfect. Cool. All right. Awesome. Hold on one second. Hi, Dora. I'm actually on a training right now. I'm doing the Disney training. Are you on? Oh, girl, you got to pay attention to the chats. I'll send you the info. Bye. Let's see. Oops. Okay, so that makes sense to everybody, right? Get this to her real quick. All right, so now that we know, and of course, if I was to go over to March, which is when our dates are, right? Then it should hopefully all be green. As long as I'm seeing all green, we are good to go, okay? So now let's say we wanted to make some money right now. First of all, let's check out to see what our commission is here. Okay, so we're making about $300 on this. You calculate 80% of that 300, which is about $240 that goes in your pocket for this one booking, right? Now, let's say we add the tickets, and this is where, when I always say compare to see what is going to maximize your commission. How, you know, if the client is getting the same price, we might as well maximize our commission. So let's say for this one, because I am a sucker for water parks, let's go with the park hopper plus option. Okay, and we're staying for 7 days, so let's do a 5-day ticket. I always recommend to a client to at least have 2 buffer days. It is exhausting to go to these parks. Like, I'm not even joking. It is exhausting. Their feet are going to hurt. They're going to be tired. I mean, it's exhausting. Okay. Like, let's just keep it real. So I always recommend to have 2 to 3 days. Okay. 2 to 3 days. Obviously, the day that you arrive, you're not going to go to a theme park. And the day that you leave, you're not going to go to a theme park. And then typically you want to have at least 1 day in between to relax, to enjoy the resort, to go to the pool, right? To get off your feet and to just sleep if you can, right? That's what you want to kind of recommend, right? So for this one, maybe we should actually do a 4-day, because we have 7 days here at Disney, right? And then you would select a day. We'll select the day after we're arriving. We got both tickets there, and now we're going to add it to the cart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare how much we will make here versus if we break out the tickets. Okay. So now here on this portion, destination 2, I'm going to add the universal tickets. And y'all know that this is probably one of my favorite things that I love about this company is the fact that we have all these options on how to make money, right? So that's pretty cool. So let's choose a three park, park to park, 2-day park to park ticket. Okay, that was a tongue twister. So let's do it on the 9th so that we have a day to relax at the resort and then wake up the next day, right? So now we're going to add this to the cart. And let's see how much we're making. Sometimes it's not too much on the ticket. So this is why I like to break it out sometimes. All right, so now we've increased our commission to $556. We calculate 80% of that, which is $445 that you are making on this booking, okay? And I believe without the tickets, it was $240, right? So really the commissions on the tickets are about $200, $205, okay? Now I'm gonna go over to our amazing back office. We're gonna check out Evo Rewards. So if we need to piece this together, then we can. Any buttons in my way. Yes, good point, Eileen. Yes, so if you want to, for Universal Studios, if your client wants to and is very specific about the Harry Potter Hogwarts train, right, which by the way is super cool, then they have to have the park to park ticket, because that train takes you from Universal Studios over to Islands of Adventure and back. So you have to have the park to park, otherwise you cannot ride the train. Okay. Okay. So now here we're going to go over to theme parks, and or honestly, you could just scroll down and they're right here. So Walt Disney World, save up to $60, and we're going to see what these prices are. Okay. Select first day of visit, I think, and I'm just going to go here and I'm going to compare apples to apples. Okay. So we said March 2nd for 4-day theme park with park hopper plus option. Where'd you go? And this was 2 adults and 2 children. Done. Search. Okay, so, and if you notice, there's all they're always reminding you, make a reservation, right? So here is a 4-day theme park base ticket, but we want the Park Hopper Plus ticket, okay? So we have to compare apples to apples. So we're gonna select this. All right, and now here is our end price. After taxes, which is what you have to see, the total pricing is $2,348.91, right? Let's see what we're getting over here. Y'all remember? Might be a better deal on FunJet. Something's not right. 4-day theme park with park plus option. Four-day theme park plus option. 2 and 2. Why is this coming out to so much more? You did a 3-day on the bundle one, did I? No, it's right here. 4-day theme park ticket with Park Hopper Plus option. Oh, is it $625 each? Huh. I think that's what it is. I'm doing my math wrong. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so the total price for our tickets here is $2,464.26. And here we're getting $2348.91. So that's a difference of minus 2348.91. A difference of $115. Okay, so here, your client doesn't need to know where you're getting the pricing, right? Like flat out, they don't need to know where you're getting the pricing. So here you can save your client $15 on the Disney ticket, make $100 in your pocket right now because you're using the EVA rewards. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna I'm gonna remove them off of here. I'm gonna take them off. Okay. Right, so I'm gonna take them off here, and here 2348.91. I'm gonna add $100. So 2348.91 plus 100 is 2448.91. Okay. Now, what we want to do if we're doing it this way is you have to create a free invoice. You have to create an invoice. Okay. And we're going to start creating line items, and I'm going to tell you how to charge it. Okay. This is a little bit more advanced. So if you're a little newer, like I said, keep it inside VAX. You know what you're making. Boom, done. Right. But if you want to put some money in your pocket right now and have some money count towards your ITAN card, then I suggest this way. It is a little bit more complicated. It does take a little bit more time, but you put $100 in your pocket the day that you book it, right? So there's that. No, the insurance would not cover the tickets. So you would have to get specific with that, right? Ugh. Hold on. I gotta find a free invoice. There was always one that would pop up, and now I don't see it popping up. Okay. So here you're going to start filling out this invoice, right? You can add your logo. The type is an invoice, and then you would put in the client's name, invoice number. What I like to do is do like this and then put in the date that it was booked. Okay. Invoice due date, etc. You're going to fill this out. Oh, I'm sorry. This is your name. And client's name. All right. Now here, to make it pretty for your client, you're going to add the details from Bax, which is flight. Oh my God, why does this overlap? That's so annoying. Okay, so flight, and you would say, you know, American Airlines, flight number, blah, 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 right? Departing. And then here, additional details, you would put departing from, and you would just start to fill out all the details, okay? And for that, you're gonna put $0, and then you're gonna add a new item. And the new item, this is not working. Oh, come on. I think we have to use another one. I can't find the one that I normally use, which is driving me crazy. Okay, and then you would add hotel, Disney hotel. You would add in the information for that. And then you would add in, you would add in Mears transportation. And then you would add in the Universal Hotel. Then you would add in wholesale Disney 4-day hopper plus wholesale Disney service fee. Okay, wholesale Universal 2-day 3 park to park wholesale. Oops. Okay, here you would put non-refundable. All right, and now here we're gonna start filling in the information, okay? So maybe we actually wanna move this down. I wonder if I can just move it. Okay, so now here you're gonna start putting in more information, right? So like, for example, okay, let's move this here. Universal Hotel. And then here we can make this and then here, this is where we would put this number. So okay, that's good. We don't have any tickets there. So nope, we're gonna remove this. And we're gonna get the pricing without the tickets. Okay. So you would put in this number. Total package price is $4,480.85. Okay. $4,480.85. Now the wholesale 4-day Hopper Plus non-refundable option, that's where you're going to put in this price, $2,348.91, right? So you're going to put that here. 2,000, oh my gosh, I forgot it. 2348.91, 2348.91, 2348.91. Okay. And then here, this is where you're going to put that $100 that we're making on the ticket, right? And I know you guys are having questions on how am I going to charge this? I'm going to show you here in just a second. Okay. Now let's go to the Universal 2-day 3-park. Shoot, I should not have deleted that. $1,484. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to theme parks. I'm going to choose Universal Studios Orlando, and I'm going to get the pricing here, which we said March 9th. And it's 2 adults, 2 children. What's going on? Maybe I didn't like how fast I moved. Okay, well, I'm not going to wait on this because I don't want to sit on here forever and apparently wait on this site. But you would pull the pricing and you would see what your room is for your wholesale service fee, right? So let's say that this came out to $1,200 and you had a $125 wiggle room, you're going to put that there. And then whatever the transportation is costing, which would probably be like $80 because it's $20 per person, then you would add that here. Now, how are you going to charge this? First of all, there's really important notes that you have to put in here. Okay, so I would put all wholesale pricing. And then terms and condition, if they added trip insurance, right, then you would put in trip insurance covers, blah, blah, blah. You lay out the details, right? Does not cover the cost of the tickets. So you guys want to think of it as basically covering yourself in a legal manner, right? And so what I mean by that is anything that you have in writing is going to cover you. Okay, so now how do you charge this? What you're going to do is you're going to make separate charges. Okay, anything that is a wholesale service fee that is non-refundable is going to get charged to your Square account. Okay, so the $100 to Luminous Travels. This is why we have you set up a Square account. I've heard people say PayPal. I've heard people say Cash App. I personally like to keep it professional. So I like to have a Square account made, I have my Square account that's made, and you're going to manually charge the $100. You're going to go to Vax and you're going to input their credit card information for this. Okay. And for this one, now let's say Vax is offering a deposit, right? How would you handle that? So let's go here, let's go to checkout, and let's say that they have a deposit date. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look at the deposit date. So the deposit is due July 25th, which is in 3 days, for a total of $2,012.76. So here we can do okay. And you would add this number, which is the $2,012.76 plus the theme parks. Okay, so you would include it all in one deposit. Where'd it go? Okay, so $2,012.76 plus the 100 plus the 1,200 plus the 125 plus the 2348. So whatever that is, right? So let's go ahead and add that up. So it'd be 2348.91 plus 100 plus 1,200 plus 125. And then I would also include the transportation plus the 80. So that brings your deposit of $3,853.91. 3853.91. And then you would put, remaining balance due on whatever this date is. So final payment due is 15th of January, 2022. Okay. So you're going to charge the card on how many occasions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different charges for that initial deposit. Okay. So that way you have the tickets taken care of. You can get the reservations made for the tickets. You have their transportation taken care of. And then what you're left with is the remaining balance for the flight, the hotel, or excuse me, the flight and the hotels, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Right. If they can't afford it, if they can't afford that high of a deposit, then yes, correct. You would go back to Vax, but if you notice, Vax is still a $2,000 deposit, right? So either way, and here's what I say, right? If they can't afford a deposit, then maybe they can't afford the vacation itself, right? Now there is the opportunity for them to finance their trip through Uplift, but I don't necessarily recommend that. And here's why. Okay, here's why I don't recommend that, is because they're financing it. It's going to pull credit and they have to do it on their own. Whether or not they're approved, that's out of our hands, right? Once they're approved, then yes, we can apply it to the vacation. They will continue to pay for their vacation even after their vacation because it's a finance. Okay. Yes, Jody. So Jody sent me this question privately. She said, can both service fees be charged at the same time to your Square account? Correct. Yes, absolutely. So technically, I guess it'd be 5 charges. Does the availability of the park stay or do they change? They change every day. They literally, I've even seen them change by hour. So that's why I'm saying is purchase the ticket, or excuse me, check the reservation, purchase the tickets. Don't wait, right? So how does one lock that in? So once you purchase the tickets, you're going to get a ticket number and your client needs to download an app. And it is the Walt Disney World app. Let me see if I have it. Yep. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. It's the Disney World app. And then in here, they're going to enter in their ticket numbers and it'll link it and they'll choose the date that they want to go and what park. Okay. And so you can see here, it says make theme park reservations. And then you would click on book now. Stop sharing my screen so y'all can see. Okay, and then it makes them sign into their Disney account, which is why we can't do it for them. Once they sign into their Disney account, then it'll ask them for their ticket number. And see, I already went, so it knows who's in my party. But then you would just select who's going, right? And then once you select it, you hit continue, and then they choose their dates. And that's how they are going to make their reservation. You cannot make it for them. So I always stress to my client, do not wait to make that reservation, because if you do, the park can be no longer available, right? You want to make the reservation right now. You can make them for your client, Lena? Oh, all right. Well, clearly I need to check my emails. Apparently a lot of stuff came out today that I did not check. Let's see. Let's see what the email says. I don't see that. Well, you guys definitely, I see that. Definitely check your emails to make sure that we're up to date. I'm looking at the emails and I don't necessarily see that. I see River Cruises, new way to purchase theme park tickets. Make park reservation for clients at Disney. That's for Disneyland. That's Disneyland. That's not talking about Disney World. So make sure we're not confusing the two, you guys. Make sure it's Disneyland versus Disney World. I see the email and it's saying Disneyland. Yes, Melissa, always get your client on the phone. So I'm going to go over questions now, you guys. So any questions that you have, you can feel free to either unmute yourself or throw it in the chat box. So be a good idea that we walk them through the booking with them on the phone. Correct. Yep. I would have them choose the hotel. I would have them choose their own flights. I would literally walk them through and make them choose with me. And then along the way, I'm making my recommendations, right? Yeah, so Alejandra, great question. So she said, I don't know if I missed this, but how would you explain to the client the service fee or wholesale tickets if the client says that agents don't charge service fees? So because we are extending the wholesale pricing, you don't put yourself in it. Okay, you remove yourself from the situation, which again is why I have everything set up on Square. It's not Amy Cabrera charging a service fee, it's Luminous Travels charging a service fee, right? And that's because I'm extending a wholesale service price. Here's the thing, Alejandra, I want you to change your mindset, right? If I just save them an extra 60 bucks from anything that they can find, do you think they care about the wholesale service fee? Right? So if the universal ticket pricing was, I don't know, a $200 difference, and I charge a wholesale service fee of $100, they're saving $100 because they can't see that, right? Which is why I don't usually say, well, I'm getting it from here and I'm getting it from there. I put it all in one great document and I'm like, okay, this is the pricing. And they're like, wow, I can't find it lower than that anywhere. And I'm like, okay, awesome. In order for me to extend this wholesale service fee, I do have to, or excuse me, wholesale pricing, the company, not Amy Cabrera, the company charges a wholesale service fee. Does that make sense? And that wholesale service fee is included in the total price that I gave you. Would we still fill out the CC authorization form? Yes. Anytime you are taking money from anyone, you absolutely have to have the credit card authorization form. So how do we get that credit card authorization form? Anybody want to unmute and tell me?
Travel cafe form.
No. How do we get it from the client?
You say, thank you, Amy. I have booked your reservation. I'm going to send over the credit card authorization form. In order for me to release your itinerary, I need the credit card authorization form back.
Oh, like that. Yep, that's exactly.
Oh, damn, that was good.
That's it right there, right? Because in order for me to release your travel documents, I need this credit card authorization from you first. You hold it hostage. I need it back within the first 24 hours, or I will have to release your reservation, which, by the way, you can call the vendor within 24 hours and say, I suspect fraud. They cancel the reservation. That's that, right? So you always want to hold that to get this, because I promise you, if you send the travel documents first, you ain't never getting this. They'll forget about it and they don't care, whatever, right? They already have what they need. Park transportation accommodates wheelchairs and scooters. Yes, that is correct. Yep. They absolutely do. They lower the bus. They have a whole section inside the bus, all that good stuff. And actually, even on the Skyliners, which is what, you know, those boxes that are up in the sky, they have specific ones for wheelchairs and scooters. Now, you have a wheelchair or a scooter or a stroller where your child has a special need, whether that be ADHD, whether that be any sort of anything that is acknowledged by the American Disability Act, what you can do is go to guest services, or you can actually fill this out beforehand and get a red tag. And the red tag allows you to move through the lines with the stroller. Okay, sometimes they even have you bypass the line, but if not, it allows you to move through the lines with the stroller, and then they hold the stroller for you there at the end. Is it better to email or fax the credit card authorization form to the client? I email. I save it as a PDF and I email it to them.
Hey, Amy.
Email back. Yep.
What about airport transportation?
Yeah, so you can actually add that. You can add that on VAX under features. It's airport transportation.
Because he said, because Chris said Magical Express is going to be over by the end of this year, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what normally picks you or gives you a ride from the airport?
Yeah, you can. They're not canceling it altogether, right? I think it just means for free. Anybody know that answer?
I think it's all together. That's what when I read it, that's how I took it.
Amy, they're not doing Magical Express anymore. Mears is taking it over for a small fee, is the last that I have read from Disney.
Okay, so it would be Mears. Okay. But that being said, you can also add the transportation usually inside VAX. Okay.
Okay, and we can add it from one location and leave them from another.
Yes. Yes, you would just do a one-way. Worst case scenario, you guys, we go inside Expedia. I know we don't make 80%, but we go inside Expedia and we book the airport transportation there. This is my third day. It's my third day. It is so much. Booking is fine, but I get lost on invoice. So Anne, I don't want you to worry about the invoice right now. Don't overcomplicate it, because this is your third day. But that's why I was saying that is a little bit more advanced. Okay. So in a month from now, when you understand the vendors and you understand all that good stuff, that's when you want to start breaking into the invoice to making money right now. Okay. What is the best way to advertise Disney? Their rules seem strict. Yep, they are strict. Best way to advertise Disney is to use their what am I thinking? Eileen, you want to help me out here? Yes, Lena, it does help to think of it as a receipt, not an invoice. Eileen, are you on the line?
Yeah, I missed it. What are you talking about?
The best way to advertise Disney is to use their social media content, right?
Yeah, you have all your marketing stuff in Disney. Amy actually has done tons of awesome trainings using their stuff. You can order brochures, hand those out. You can mail stuff through the mail. You get all kinds of stuff with your information already posted on it, or you can add it, hand them out to your neighbors, post them all over social media. Actually, all of our vendors have social media stuff that you can go in and just take it and use it. Just make sure that when you're using those, you're using them specific for the vendor that you're advertising. Don't be posting a Carnival ship and posting it as an advertisement for Princess. That's not cool. Make sure you're doing them for the right places.
Yep. And the other thing that I would suggest you guys is to make sure that anything that you're doing a mock booking with, especially on social media, that you have our licensing, so the CST number, the FL number, the requirements that we have for our business cards, make sure you have that on the ad as well as an affiliate of Archer Travel, because that is what legally allows us to advertise these mock bookings. Okay. If you don't have Square account to include on the invoice, can PayPal be used? But yes. Yeah, as long as, so here's what you want, like the way you want to think of it is when I charge their card, is it going to say to Amy Cabrera or is it going to say to my business name, right? You want it to say to your business name because that's what's going to show up on their bank statement. You can even add a note, like I think PayPal does it too, but I know for sure Square, you can add a note where it says non-refundable deposit for, right? You can type it out and that way it's very specific. It's not, I don't know that it's a requirement, Joetta, but it's something that I learned to get Facebook off my back, if that makes sense, because they can't argue with legalities, right? If we're licensed and bonded and all that good stuff, and we put it right out there, they can't say that we're a scam. They can't say, that we're not authorized or whatever the case may be. I've actually won a couple of appeals that way. So it's just my suggestion. It's not necessarily a requirement. When I planned my family trip, did I go through Vax and get commission or did you book directly through Disney? Heck no, I booked directly through Disney for myself. Yo, we get 50% off of the Disney hotels. Did you guys know that? We have 50% off at the Disney hotels. We get up to 30% off at Universal. And we get our 50% off ticket so if you guys really want to know how I did it, I use my 50% off ticket for Disney because I'm Disney certified. My husband made him I didn't do it for him. He did his own Disney training and he became Disney certified. So we use his 50% off. And then I use the Evo rewards for our children for their tickets. So we got it at the wholesale pricing. And then I used the 50% off for the Disney hotel, which was really awesome. And so you can do that once a year. And then for Universal Studios, I booked it on our discount. I ended up upgrading, so I'm making the commission back on the Universal Studio one because it was too late to get the travel agent discount. And then I believe I made money back on the Mears transportation as well. So yeah, that's how we did it. I think we saved, I want to say about $3,000. Kind of crazy, right? Is that for one day or the whole vacation? The whole vacation. Kaylee, we get up to a 10-day hopper pass. 10-day hopper pass for Disney World at 50% off. Yep. 10-day hopper pass. The hotel, you can stay there for up to, I think it's up to 7 days at the 50% discount. Wasn't it you and a guest each available? For what?
For your agent rate, don't you get you and a guest for your agent rate each?
No, for Disney? No.
Yeah.
It's just for you as the travel agent. For Universal, you get the free ticket. So then we transferred over to Universal. I got my free ticket. Justin got his free ticket. And then for our kids, we use the 50% discount on that.
Yeah, I think you have like the free Disney, but only up to so many days, and then you get 50% after that, right?
The free went away during COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I
So
didn't
it's
go during
50%
COVID.
off. Yep. It went away. I know, I was super bummed, but hey, I'll take 50% off. Like, I was totally cool with that.
Any day.
Yeah, for sure. Uh Disney 50% off. What do we need to do? You need to have a CLIA card or an IATAN card. This is why we say, you guys, the CLIA card, yeah, it does cost $125 or whatever it is, right? But that $125 I just made up for in 50% off at Disney. You know what I mean? Like, it saved us thousands of dollars. So I was not complaining about my $125 that I had to spend to get it. Or you can of course use your IATAN card, and then those discounts apply. Where do we put our Archer and CST number on our mock bookings? Use Canva, save the information, use Canva, and just add it to the picture. Yes, it is for Disney as well, Liz. You do need a CLIA card or an IATAN card. What about fam trips tickets? So I don't know when they're going to start it up again. But Disney does do site inspections. We do have to register. Now, let me make this very clear, you guys, especially since I still have over 100 of you on the line. When you sign up for a fam trip, you have to go, okay? It's not just, let me sign up and see if I can go. You are committing to go. It's quite embarrassing when a vendor comes up to us and they're like, hey, you know what? You had X amount of agents register for a fam trip and none of them showed up, and it cost me $2,000, right? Because our vendors are actually paying money for us to be there. They're paying for our meals, they're paying for the space, they're paying for all these things in order for us to be there. So please, 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 if you sign up for a fam trip, please commit to going. Of course, if there's an emergency, we understand, they understand, but don't let it be more often than not, right? You can use Archer's IATA. Yes, we do use Archer IATA, but in order for you to get the benefits, you have to have your own CLIA card or your own IATAN card for Disney specific, okay? Awesome, Mills. Who's your friend? Can they hook me up? No, I'm just kidding. So is it Universal that I have to pay for? Yes, it would be Universal at, no, I'm sorry. If you're going to Universal for yourself, then you get a free ticket, and that's a 3-park 3-day ticket. 3-park 3-day ticket. 3-park, wait a minute. 3-day 3-park to park ticket. Oh my God, that's a mouthful. Basically what it means is you can go for 3 days and you can go to all 3 parks, including the water park. And it is a park to park option, which means that you do get the train.
I just completed the College of Disney Knowledge and they gave me the 50% off without an IATA card.
Did you already book your ticket?
I didn't click confirm, but it let me go through the booking process.
So once you click confirm, it's going to ask you to verify your CLIA number, or excuse me, your CLIA card, and send in a picture, or your IATAN card.
And you can't just use Archer's number?
You are using Archer's number to gain the benefit, but you yourself as the independent contractor, you have to have your own. Does that make sense? You have to have the actual card.
That sucks.
It's worth it.
Amy, don't they also, I know Disney did when I was there, ask for your actual card. When you go to check in at the hotel, they want to see that you have your travel agent card. Because I had to show my CLIA card when I went to use my benefit at Disney.
Yes. The only one that didn't ask for or wasn't super strict was Universal, but yes, they do, because if not, they'll revert you back to the regular pricing. So that's what I'm saying, you guys. $125 for the CLIA card. It may seem like, oh man, that's $125, right? But what are you saving? You're saving thousands of dollars, especially if you go for multiple days, right? We're talking what a 7-day pass is, I don't know, I think $700, right? And you're getting 50% off of that. That's already paid for your CLIA card. Now include the hotel, right? Now include the free ticket to Universal. Now include the 50% off to Universal. You have to think of it as the bigger picture. How can we buy a CLIA card? You go to CLIA.org. Can somebody put in the CLIA website?
I just did twice.
Oh, thank you, Joetta. Sorry, I'm not
You're
there
welcome.
yet. I'm still scrolling down.
And you register as an individual,
Yes, yes,
And
as an individual.
because people will
Amy, this
confuse.
is Charity. I was just gonna let people know that the clear card is very, like Amy states, the clear card is very good to have also because if you're doing cruises, you get extra, sometimes they give you extra commission, but it's only 125 a year, so it's not monthly. It's just once a year. So it's very good to have. I just want to put my 2 cents in.
Thank you. As well as you guys don't forget that you need a clear card to have your Marriott as well. We get the fantastic rates with Marriott. Like I did a road trip to go pick up my daughter in Texas, and I stayed at Marriott's the entire way because I got a $49 rate. I got a $69 rate, where really those hotel prices were over $125 per night. And because I had my CLIA card and I'm a Marriott certified specialist, I was able to get the fantastic rates. So that's where it really becomes a big deal. Again, think of it as the bigger picture, right? Archer said they would start charging a $50 no-show for inspections. Yep. And that's again, you don't want to commit to something, because you have to remember these vendors, right, are business development managers. They're counting you for food, they're counting you for a seat, they're counting you for transportation, they're counting you sometimes for an excursion. So that comes out of their budget. You know what I mean? And we don't want to be known as the agents that don't show up for these things. For Disney, do I have to update my CLIA card there? Yes, Tracy. Yes. So here's what happens when you're booking Disney for yourself, as Lena was saying, is you're going to go through the motions, and actually we can probably, okay. You're going to go through the motions, right? And I don't know that it'll let me because I already used my benefits, but it'll say available benefits. You'll have them there, right? So you can see it's benefit unavailable. That's because I already used it. So I guess I can't really go through it. So here it is right here. Have to have a valid IATA, CLIA card, or ACTA ID card. Rates are valid for the travel agent and members of their immediate family sharing the same room for no more than 7 nights. So here's the stipulation, right? It says it right there, right? And then if you violate these rules, Disney may cancel your reservation, or even if your reservation or reservations were previously confirmed by Disney. So it says it right there, right? And again, yeah, it may suck to have to fork out $125 when you're making the reservation, but what is it going to save you, right? Do you need a CLIA card to get a travel agent discount? Not always. Some hotels, and this is where I would just call the hotel directly and ask what's required. Some of them just want to see a business card, where other ones have to see the travel credential, right? And actually some hotels, or, depending on for a travel agent rate, will take a letter of affiliation, and you do get that from Archer Travel. Yeah, it's an annual fee. So like if you get it today, July, you do have to pay it again in January. But that being said, you do get, again, extra bonus commissions from cruises. You can use it for the rest of the year for travel agent discounts. So if you plan on traveling this year, it's totally worth it. Individual. So for CLIA, you're going to do individual. So remember, so you guys are confusing the two. IATAN is what we earn, right? Hey, Justin. Second. I'll show you guys the difference. This is a CLIA card. Okay, this is what does CLIA stand for? Anybody know? What does CLIA stand for?
Cruise Line International Association.
Say it again.
Cruise Line International Association.
Bernadette, send me your Akimbo email. You just won 10 bucks. Cruise Line International Association. Here's my number, 725-221-0860. Send me a text with your Akimbo email and I'll send you 10 bucks. This is the IATAN card. Okay, they're two separate cards. What do you need to do in order to get a CLIA card? Anybody
Pay the
know?
$119.
Exactly. Joetta, send me your email for Akimbo. You get 10 bucks. What do you need to do in order to earn your IATAN card?
Earn
You have to sell
$5,000
travel.
commission in a year.
$500, $5,000 in commission a year.
Okay, I think it was Andrea that actually started speaking first. Say it again, Andrea.
You have to earn $5,000 worth of commission a year.
From Archer Travel.
Right, from Archer Travel, not your get in your pocket right now, your right now money.
Correct. Andrea, send me your email. You got 10 bucks. Okay. So the difference is this one you earn $5,000 in travel booking commissions from Archer Travel. This one you can purchase immediately. The CLIA gives you extra bonus commissions from the cruise lines, as well as additional discounts, okay? IATAN is the one that airlines recognize. Airlines don't recognize this one. Airlines recognize this one. So this one technically trumps this one, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So don't confuse the two. This is your right now, get your benefits immediately. This is you have to earn. CLIA credits is you actually can get a higher level of CLIA, which means that you get more bonus commissions. All right, guys, I think that's it for me today. Thank you all so much for showing up. Again, my name's Amy Cabrera. Absolutely. And I'll see you guys next time.
Can I have your number?
Thank
again,
you.
Amy? Couldn't
Yep,
write that.
725.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
bye.
Amy.